Hello, math makers, and thank you for joining me for part 3 of adding bigger numbers. We have just finished parts 1 and parts 2. Part 1, we added using models. Part 2, we added using moving models to partial products, and today we're going to stick with just partial products. As you can see, I've created a little chart that's going to help us kind of figure out how we should line these up. And I think it hopefully will help you see the different, knowing place value will help us add those up. And we're going to do about 3 or 4 questions together. I'm going to talk your way through them. Hopefully this will help you understand how we add using partial products. As we get started, there are some terms we need to know. These are terms you're going to see again, so I want to make sure you understand them. First, when we're adding, the 2 numbers we're adding are called add-ins. And the answer to an addition problem is called the sum. Sometimes you might see it called total, but it's also called the sum. The whole addition problem is called an equation. When you have a number is made up of numerals called digits. For example, the number 75 here is made up of 2 digits, so it's a 2-digit number, a 7 and a 5. Another term we need to understand is regroup. And we're going to be using regrouping in this lesson and in the next couple of lessons as well. And when you regroup, you rearrange or form into different groups. For example, for every 10 ones, there's 1 10. For every 10 tens, there's 100. You could also go backward. For every 100, there's 10 tens. And for every 10, there's 10 ones. And you need to understand those makeups, because that will help you. Next, we have to deal with our place value. When you have a number, and we're just going to be dealing with 3-digit numbers, here's 3 digits, and you need to understand the ones place, tens place, hundreds place. The ones place tells you how many ones there are, the tens place tells you how many tens, and the hundreds place tells you how many hundreds. When we write numbers, there's 3 different ways we can write numbers. One is standard form. That's the way you've already written numbers and you already know how to write. The other is word form. So we have the number 523 and we're going to write it 523. And then we have expanded form or expanded notation. And that's when we break that number up into hundreds, tens, and ones. 500 plus 20 plus 3. So if you know how to do all those things, it will help you tremendously on our lessons. So let's get started. The first question we're going to do today is 135 plus 462. Now, this next step I like to do, I just want you to see it. You don't have to do this, but I always go ahead and write out the expanded notation for both numbers. It helps me see and explain what I'm going to tell you to do. You don't have to do this, but if it helps you, then do it. Because ultimately, not just me, but your teacher, whoever your teacher is, wants you to get the answer correct without looking at your neighbor's paper. So when we add this up, we're going to start and we're going to start with the hundreds. So I've got a 1 in the hundreds place and a 4 in the hundreds place. That 1 is 100, that 4 is 400. If I add those up, I get 500 because that gives me 5 in the hundreds place. So I have 500. Next, I'm going to add the tens. I have 3 tens and 6 tens. That gives me 9 tens, and 9 tens makes 90. And of course, you have 9 tens and 0 ones there, 90. Same thing in hundreds. And last, I'm going to add the ones place. I have 5 ones and 2 ones, and that makes 7 ones. And now I'm just going to add straight down. 0 plus 0 is plus 7 is 7. 0 plus 9 is 9, and 5 plus nothing is 5. And so our number is 597. So we have the answer 597. So that's 5 hundreds, 9 tens makes 90, 7 ones makes 7. 597. Let's do another one. 248 plus 319. I hope you see too that this order, the way you stack them, matters. It matters. All right, again, I'm going to break my expanded notation just so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to add the 2 and the 3 because it's 2 100s and 3 100s. Yeah, it's 200 and 300. And if I add 2 and 300, I'm going to get 500. because there's 5 hundreds. That makes 500. Next, I'm going to add my tens. I have 4 tens and 1 10. That gives me 5 tens, which makes the number 50. And then I'm going to add 8 and 9. I have 17. Now, I have a question. Does that look right from what we know? It doesn't look right. We know that we can never have more than 9 in any column. We learned that when we were doing our models. So we need to break that 17 up. And when I break 17 up, I'm going to break it up into tens and ones. So now I have 1 10 and 7 ones. So if I write that 17, my 1 10 and 7 1, you can see the number 17 there. Now I can add it together. So what we just did was, that's regrouping. Okay? So 0 plus 0 plus 7 is 7. 5 tens and 1 10 is 6 tens. And then 5 tens makes 500. 5 hundreds makes 500. If I put all that together, I get 567. Because that's 500. That's 5 hundreds. 6 tens makes 60. 7 ones makes 7. 567. Let's do another one. 542 plus 283. This will be the last one we do with our green, blue, and red guide here. Of course, I'm breaking my, undo my expanded notation. We are going to have to regroup again for this one. So I'm going to add first my hundreds. 500 plus 200 makes 700. Because I have 5 and 2 is 7. That's 7 in the hundreds. That's 700. 8 plus 4 would be 12. That'd be 120. You can't have that much in the tens place. We have to break it up. 120, you'd break it up into 100 plus 20 plus 0. So I'm going to take that 100. I'm going to put it in the hundreds place. Keep my 2 tens there. And of course, there's 0 ones. That makes 120. And you can see that right here. Then I'm going to add my ones. 2 ones and 3 ones makes 5 ones. Now I'm going to add again. 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. That's 2 tens. That's worth 20. And 700 plus 100 is 800. So our answer would be, say it with me, 825. So 542 plus 283 is 825. Now, I took away the green, blue, and red. So I'm also not going to do our expanded notation. So what's the first thing I would add? It's our hundreds, right? So if I add 600 and 200, what do I get? 800, that's correct. And if I add, I have a 3 and a 6 here. If I add 30 and 60, what do I get? 90. And if I add 1 plus 5, what do I get? 6, that's correct. Now I'm going to add those up together. Zero plus 0 plus 6 is 6. What does 0 plus 9 make? 9. And what is 8 plus nothing? 8. So what's our answer? 896. That is correct. Let's do one more. This will be our last one. So let's add our hundreds again first. What's in the hundreds place? I have a 4 and a 3, so that's 400 and 300. What is 400 plus 300? 700, that's right. Then I've got 2 tens and 9 tens. What would 90 plus 20 be? How would I write that? 110. It's 11 tens. I have to move that 100 over. I traded those 10 extra tens to 100. And then 0 plus 5, 0 ones and 5 ones makes 5 ones. Now I'm going to add those up again together. 0 plus 0 plus 5 is 5. 0 and 1 is a 1, and that 1 is in the tens place, so it's worth how much? 10, that's right, so I have 15. And now I'm going to add 700 and 100, and I'm going to get 800. So I have 8 in the hundreds place. And our answer, of course, is 815. I hope this helps, and I hope it's helped. I'm sure it has. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.